Hi, welcome to our league match versus Halzard FC. Checking out the league table. 5-5-7, -2 goal difference. I think they're seemingly on the face of it the toughest out of the rest that aren't Feta Cheese and PCCFC. Just checking our previous results, a 3-0 win and a 1-0 win. So that very much plays into it. We're going with our full strength squad, obviously. I think we're on the same tactic as last game. It seemed to do pretty well for us. I think Bonnet becomes the penalty taker here. And yeah, let's go. Should remember to have that up. If they score in that first minute, we'll be so resentful that we got slack and didn't do that before the match started. Right, now this is something new because we've not been losing to this team before, and we only beat them 1-0 last time we played them, and that was at home. I feel a challenge on our hands here. Right, and then we've also got complacent because we've got our third choice keeper on the bench instead of our backup, when we said before we started that we knew that they were one of the most competitive teams. And this mistake could easily cost us the match. Frustrating. Should take the time to properly check everything every match. Or, in a common sense world, we should have it set up optimally. And then we remember to bring our third choice keeper onto the bench for the weaker matches, and that way, if we forget to do it, then at least it doesn't cost us the match. We deserve to lose. It was big enough of a mistake that we deserve to lose because of that. Alright, we got another knock, and tough decisions to be made now. Do we want to burn a second substitution resource already? I think the answer is yes here. We've got the upper hand. It's just whether it's for them. I think it's for the centre half with the most endurance, to be honest. 9. It's the one who's more likely to be able to play the match out. Very similar. Help. We can make the right decision here. I think he's the right choice, better defensively, so, and we might need that extra defensiveness yet, to be honest. I think we can up the tempo already, because right now we could easily end up with less than 11 players on the pitch this game, so we want to make sure that we get our goal that we need now, basically, if it can be helped. But I think we're okay still. We're creating more than twice as many chances as they are. I think we're happy with that. We're building up somewhat of an advantage in the second half on the face of it, but we have to bear in mind that we've already used 2 substitutes up. we won't be getting any sort of double substitution boost or anything like that we normally get, because we're basically going to have to save our last sub. We're pretty late on here, so going to have to leave him out there. But they've had a knock as well, so I think we still leave it. It might change exactly where we make this third sub, but for now I think we do want to keep that fast tempo. Although I'm doubting it as each minute passes, because we're not dominating by as much as what we were, but I think we're still creating a bit more than them. Not twice as many chances. Maybe we're not. They're 58% possession. I think we just stick with it for the time being though. Real tough decisions here. This time, clearly Khalil is the weakest player in our team as well. This is another key point. He's the weakest player in the starting 11. He's only playing because we've got no other right-sided players. We can put Odell. There's just no good choices here. Let's stick with it for the time being, because we're using our pause time now. We can I do feel like Khalil, if he comes off, it gives our team a material boost here. Let's pause and work out realistically, if he does come off, who it's going to be for, because then we can make sure that we get a maximum performance from that player. Let's think this through. So we need a goal, so assuming that the score stays as it is, we need somebody who's going to help us get a goal. We can't, if we're going to bring another defender on, which we can do, still play 4 across the back, we've got to shift somebody in the right midfield, so we can shift Montez across. He did alright last time there. That's an option. Or we can put Odell into the right midfield. So it's going to look like this. It's wonky. It's quite wonky. I don't particularly like it. The other option is we can bring Calvo onto right wing and play 3 across the back, which feels like a legitimate option. If we're going to do that, the optimal time for Calvo is about where our mouse pointer is, so we'll do it then, I think. Alright, we're into it now. So basically we're doing this and Calvo. Team is fairly attacking now. Gotta say, probably just want to go more attacking. Now this could blow up in our face and we might lose here, obviously. But this is the thing, it's like, we don't want to settle for the draw, we want to roll the dice and try and get the win. We're fairly committed to this position. There's not a lot we can do that makes any sense to go more offensive. And then this is the tricky part, really, is where we score, because I'll definitely slow the tempo down. Just leave it, we don't have a lot of time, so we want to save our pause time in case something really critical happens and we can think quickly. It's just whether it makes sense to go more with, I mean, we've got a really attacking formation, So I just think it makes sense, as long as we're getting more chances than them, to leave that. If that stops being the case and we start to create less than them, then maybe we can go to a more defensive mentality. But I think trying to be more defensive with a formation that's so attacking is just suboptimal. And now they've scored, obviously, so we still want to be attacking, and now we can think about whether we've made a mistake there or not, and we should have gone a little bit more defensive. Hopefully we can and this is where you wonder, if we had had our better backup keeper in goal, would they have scored there? We'll go into a full press now. This is why we needed that bit of time. Okay, good. At least he can keep going. Right, I think we just got to do something awkward now and hope. All out attack, but in the end I think we've been undone here because of the mistake, because we didn't have our second best keeper on the bench, and that has lost us this match. I have no doubt about that. We might have got a draw, we might not have won or whatever, but it's lost us the match. I have absolutely no doubt about that. Potentially lost us the league. Massive mistake of epic proportions. Really stupid. Really simple. Really disappointing. Really, really disappointing. That, I mean, we may still have conceded one of these two goals, even with the better keeper, but I think there's a very good chance we wouldn't have conceded both. I think there's a very good chance this single-handedly cost us the match. We might have only got a draw, but the league is so tight that a draw could make all the difference here come the end of the season, potentially. And if we lose the league because of this, if this match was a draw, we will come back, we will remember this moment. It's a big moment, it's a big mistake, and we will remember it. It's not a small thing that we just forget. It's going to be in the back of our mind for the whole rest of the season. This is the moment where we threw the league away. If we lose it by a point, this is the exact moment. This is the match. Right now, we are going to go to our team. We are going to fix it right now before we stop recording. There we are. Put our second best keeper on the bench. Now, you might look at their average ratings and say, hang on, but this guy was our goalkeeper at the start, unfortunately, when we had some really tough cup draws and got hammered against really top class opposition. If you look at his league performances, they've been solid, 7.43, and this guy has only played, other than this match where he's let us down, he's only really played against easier teams, generally speaking. So he's had anyway, this guy's just better. So, and awful feeling. 2 players with knocks. We'll have to sort that out now. We're not going to do it once we. Well, why not? Let's just say I mean, we know it's too much. We'll work it out and then we'll explain what we've done at the start of the next video. 3 players with knock, sorry. Gosh, that's going to hurt. And then, yep. Really different. This league table looked very, very different before we played Feta Cheese and lost to them. At that point in time, we had something like 16 wins. Yeah. So in the last 3 matches, we've lost 2 and won 1. Before that, it was 17 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, and it looked like it was over to anybody looking at this from the outside. It looked like it was done and dusted. And now you look at it and it looks like it's game on. It's anybody's. Well, anybody's out of the top 2 anyway. So, very disappointing to have lost that one. That one shouldn't have been lost, and I think if we had made better decision making, that easily could have been a draw. Very disappointing. So thanks for watching. Catch you for the next match.